Get ready for your daily dose of WordPress and web development tips, tricks, and insights to help you find success with WordPress. You're listening to WP the Podcast with your hosts, David Blackman and Tim Streifler.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of WP the Podcast, brought to you by WP Gears. I'm David Blackman.
And I'm Tim Streifler.
Today in episode 655, we return to our virtual studio series. This is part 4. First 3 parts, we discussed cameras, lighting, and microphones. Today we're going to dive into our actual desk setup. The physical desk that Tim and I bought, we have the same one. And we're going to talk about our mounting systems and stuff, what we have our lights mounted to and our cameras mounted to and computers mounted to and so on and so forth, because it can get pretty dang crowded on this desk if you don't have an organized system and way to go about doing it. So, Tim, drum roll, please. What desk did we choose to go with?
Yes, we chose to go with the standing sitting desk by Uplift Desk. And I say standing sitting because it's motorized and it has hydraulics or something to automatically, you press a button and it automatically goes from standing to sitting or vice versa. And one thing I do want to quickly say is if you're starting out, you don't have to get all this high-end stuff that David and I use. It's just that we have been working at home for 5-6 plus years, and so it's like we spend a lot of time at these desks and using this gear and stuff like that. And so like we've upgraded, right, over the years to what we have now. But by no means you need to go out and buy, a really expensive standing desk unless you can afford it and see the value. But we're going to talk about kind of why we chose this setup. First of all, I will say standing desks are huge in terms of health benefits. Their studies have been shown that sitting for long periods of time is terrible. It's just absolutely terrible for you. But here's another thing that a lot of people don't realize is standing for long periods of time is also not good for you. And so really the most ideal is being able to change positions and move and stuff. And the standing sitting desk allows you to do that because it's motorized and you can quickly, with the touch of a button, raise or lower your desk and go into stand mode or whatever. So hugely beneficial for health purposes. And there's you can definitely get some cheaper ones. We got kind of a higher end one, and that's because I believe in paying for quality and having it last. And so, there's ones you can probably find on Amazon or stuff that are maybe cheaply made and, it might work for a year and then it stops working. And we didn't want to mess with that. We thought spending a lot of money on the front end to get something that'll last. And we've had these, 3+ years now, David, still going strong?
At least, yeah. It's been 3+ years, and I'll tell you, mine still looks brand new. I mean, I've put it through hell. It's been through a couple of moves, cross country. I traveled in an RV, digital nomad for 5 years, and 2 of those years were with this desk in the RV. So as I went down the road traveling all throughout the continental U.S., this desk went along with me. And I got to tell you, the quality is superb. For 3 years old, this thing looks like it just came from the factory.
Yeah, no, it really did. The quality is great. Mine survived a move from Texas to California as well. And yeah, I think they start around $500, but depending on the wood that you get, the size that you get, and then there's a bunch of different add-ons too. It goes up from there. So, be prepared to spend the money. But this has been a fantastic purchase, and I have zero regrets. I've been very, very happy, and as I know David has too, obviously.
Yeah, I want to talk about a couple of things because I think Tim and I have different size. And when we say size, we mean the length of the desk, how wide the desk, how much desk space we actually have. I purchased what I thought was the 60-inch, which is a 5-foot desk. And I actually bought the 72-inch, and which is really big. Now, I got to tell you, I love the 72-inch. I have a ton of room on this desk. Now, you got to have a place to put this bad boy because it's, 6 feet wide. and most rooms will fit and stuff, but that's typically not an issue. But I didn't realize how much I would really enjoy the extra 12 inches of desk space. So, Tim, am I wrong in thinking that you have the 60-inch?
I can't remember which one it is, but it's definitely the smaller one than you have. And that's, I guess, would be my one regret, is I wish I would have gotten the wider one like you did, because I'm not like crammed, but because like now, which at the time we weren't doing as much of the the hardcore video stuff, but now that we're getting into a lot more of the video stuff for the courses and everything and live streaming, there's more gear that's getting added to my desk, and so I'm wishing I would have had a little bit more desk space. And then it's also nice just to have more room in general, as David mentioned. So I would say, if you're not sure, go bigger if you have the space for it.
All right, well, let's talk next about our mounting system. Obviously, we've got quite a few things mounted to our desks, and I'll talk about everything that we're mounting to our desks, and Tim can tell you which one we went with. So on our desk, we have our cameras, our lighting, our computer monitors, our microphone stand, so pretty much everything that we've covered in our virtual studio series is sitting on this desk. Man, that sounds like a crowded desk. How the heck do we make it all work, Tim?
Yeah, so we have a mounting system. I'm trying to find the exact product name in my Amazon orders.
Wally. It's WALI is the Wally desk mount system, I guess. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Wally. I say Wally. My mind says Wally, even though it's one L. It's WALI is the actual name of the the company that manufactures these, this mounting system.
Yeah, exactly. And so basically, we followed a YouTube video that kind of walks you through. So we use that Wally system, as David mentioned, that you can get on Amazon. And then they're really meant to be monitor arms, but we configured them to be able to mount other things to them. And so, for example, my camera, my Sony a6400 camera, is mounted to one of those like monitor arms that's been reconfigured with a tripod, what's it called? The tripod camera mount, ball head. Yeah.
Ball head. Yeah. It's like a ball head. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And so then I can move my camera from left to right, up and down if I want. I have it right where I want it now, so I typically don't move it. And it works great. And then I have another camera coming off of that main mount that has my secondary camera that has an up and down arm as well as the tripod ball mount. And so, yeah, it works out really great. I originally wanted everything mounted to that system, including my iMac. But the iMac really, really can't be mounted because it has a permanent stand. You cannot take your iMac stand off of it. They didn't make it to be able to be removed. And so I have my secondary monitor, which is that old Thunderbolt display that Apple no longer makes. That stand was able to be removed. And so I have that mounted, and it's on a swivel arm, and I can move it up and down and side to side and everything. But yeah, I mean, it's great having everything mounted. It actually frees up a lot of space, so I can have, the different things that I need, like our Scarlett audio interface. And then we both also have a Elgato Stream Deck, which hooks up to the live streaming software, and you can press a button to change different scenes and stuff like that. So having everything mounted frees up the other part of your desk to be able to have other stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've got similar setup, same setup and stuff. And it's just been a life-saving, thing to have. I've got my monitors on the mounting arms and stuff. And I have an iMac also that's sitting on the desk. But, when I purchased the iMac, it gives you an option when you buy the iMac if you want to have that mounting system as opposed to just the arm. So, pro tip, if you're looking at buying an iMac and you want to futurize, maybe mount it on an ARM system like the Wally system that we're talking about, you're going to need to make that purchase when you buy the Mac. So just
It's a Visa mount add-on.
yeah, it's a Visa mount add-on. Thank you, Tim. So yeah, all right. Well, that kind of takes us, from our desk. I'm going to give a little bonus out there because we don't have a chair series, but Tim and I, obviously, if you're working at your desk for long hours, you need something comfortable to sit in. And I copied Tim. I was buying at least 2 office chairs a year, and they were cheap office chairs from Office Depot. I'd spend $50, and I'd get a new chair, and then eventually, because it was a cheap chair, the padding would wear out, and when you're sitting in it the majority of the day and stuff, just after 6 months of use, it just kind of got uncomfortable and it would wear out. So I noticed one day that Tim had this really badass looking chair in a video call we were doing, and it was a DX Racer, and it looked like a gaming chair because I'm a gamer from way back. And actually, that's what it was. It was a gaming chair company that also had an office chair, which I, eventually purchased and stuff. And I got to tell you, I've had this chair when we bought the desks and stuff, so I've had it for about 3 years. I know you've had yours longer than me. And this thing is still rock solid, hadn't worn out a bit, and it's like the day I bought it. So even though it was, quite a bit more expensive, like a $500-$600 chair, it's more than paid for itself because I'm not buying a couple of chairs a year anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree. I highly recommend the chair. And I think I got mine quickly after moving to Texas. So that was in 2015. And now I'm back in California. But so yeah, I've had mine for almost 5 years now, and it's great. Now I'm looking at the DX Racer website, and so they, as David mentioned, they make gaming chairs, and they had they called it their Soho chair, small office, home office chair, but I don't think they carry it anymore. But if the gaming chairs are, they're very, very similar than the ones we have, and so you can't go wrong because basically gamers are sitting in chairs for hours and hours. And so that was my thought process. Well, if this company is making chairs for people that are sitting gaming for hours and hours, then it's probably a great chair to sit in. And having a really high quality chair is huge. If you work from home full time, you're going to spend a lot of time in that chair. Now, we talked about the standing desk and how important that is, and it is hugely important, but you can't stand all the time, nor should you. And so you're going to be sitting for at least half the time, more than likely. And so you need a really good high quality chair. Otherwise, if you're like me, I don't think I mentioned this yet, but I also had the cheap chairs like David talked about. And it was literally giving me neck problems, and I was having a lot of neck pain that was turning into really bad headaches and everything. And so once I got this chair, like, this is no exaggeration, like, my headaches were gone because it was a high quality chair that gave me the posture and support that, like, my spine and neck needed. And yeah, it was literally a life changer. Like, I know that sounds dramatic, but it's true.
No, it's not. Seating is important. It's just like shoes. People underestimate the value of really, really good shoes, especially if you're on your feet all day. It's no different. A salesperson working in retail that is standing for 8 hours a day, what's the most important thing that they're going to need? Support. Shoes. Well, we're sitting at a desk all day. We need a good chair. So do not underestimate the value of that. I love shoes too. So
No, I said butt shoes.
Oh, butt shoes. Yeah, these are our butt shoes. Thought you said you love shoes. I love shoes too. So I'm kind of a shoe, a female version in a male's body who has lots of shoes. So. Yeah. All right. Well, tomorrow we've got another great episode 656, how to juggle work life and home life when you work at home with your family. Man, that can be tough sometimes. Tim, until tomorrow, we'll see you then.
Take care. Bye-bye.
We've come to the end of today's episode of WP the Podcast. Join us tomorrow for more daily tips and strategies designed to help you run your WordPress business toward success. Remember to subscribe to WP the Podcast so you can stay up to date with each episode. And don't forget to rate and review us. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on WP the Podcast.